You're watching 3 Questions with Kat. Hey everyone, it's Catherine Norland, and I'm here for another episode of 3 Questions with Kat. I've got Jessica with me. Jessica, so I just pulled her out 5 seconds ago and said, let me interview you. And she's like, okay, she didn't even ask what about. So here we go, diving in. She's blind, but I've got faith in her. Okay, so the first question that people want to know is, what stops people from succeeding?
Ooh, that's a really good question. Belief. If you don't believe in yourself, it's not going to happen. When you believe in yourself, it ups your talent, it ups your skills, 100%. So I'd say belief.
So that's such maybe a foreign concept to some people, because they think, well, if I was only, especially in our industry, well, if I was only younger or thinner or more of this or less of that, or if I had more talent. And you're saying a simple thing as believing in yourself changes all of that.
100%. Because you think about how many actors there are on TV, in movies, big blockbuster things that pay a lot of money, get a lot of press. Sometimes they're really great actors. Sometimes they're not great actors. And the reason why even the ones that are not so good are on TV and on these big movies is because they believed in themselves. They believed that they could do it. So it doesn't even matter about your talent. It really matters about how much you believe in yourself and believe in your dream.
Yeah, I can remember times where I've gone to a movie or I've seen something and I'm like, oh my gosh, I should have had that role.
Right?
They are terrible. Like, how did they get that role? And it could be belief in themselves. Mm-hmm. It could also be some things that we're not willing to do to get a part. That's so true. That is the difference. And I think of so many friends that I have that are so talented, but they don't do anything. They're so smart, but they don't do anything with the gifts that they have. So that's probably their key, is if they just believed in themselves, they could take over the world if they wanted to.
I have friends like that. I think we all do.
So the second question is, how do you overcome obstacles? You got stuff standing in the way. Maybe it's standing in the way of your belief. How do you get over those obstacles that are not allowing you to get to your dreams?
I personally, I'm a big believer in meditation.
Mm-hmm.
I meditate every single day. If I have a problem, if I'm feeling not really worthy, not really confident in myself, I don't ask people for advice. That's number one. I don't ask people for advice.
Wow, that's huge. Especially for people who come from, I come from a past of I didn't believe in myself at all. So I would ask everyone. And that steered me wrong so many times. And for someone to be as young as you, to have the wherewithal to know you don't need to ask anybody else, it's really big.
Because I've found a lot of the times, when I would ask people for advice, it wouldn't turn out the way that I wanted it to. And I would find that the people that I was asking for advice didn't believe in themselves, didn't have confidence in themselves. So why would I be asking advice from someone who doesn't believe in themselves? So I ended up turning within, and I was like, okay, I need to ask myself, do I believe in myself? Do I believe in miracles? Do I believe in love? And it sounds so simplistic, but I had to really believe in positivity and believe in love more than I believed in insecurity. And I just had to reiterate that for myself. I was like, is this thought making me feel good? Is this thought going towards love? Or is this thought making me feel bad? And if it made me feel bad, I was like, okay, well, I'm just going to let this thought go. I'm not going to give into that thought. It's not worth my time.
That's huge. I wish I would have known that when I was your age. That's really big. I was just listening to an audiobook on the way home yesterday with Brian Tracy, and it was called Get Smart. And kind of on the similar plane of meditating, he says whenever he has a problem, he will go somewhere by himself and get alone for an hour and just sit in solitude. And he says the answer to the problem always comes.
Always. I feel that exact sentiment. I do that. So yes.
Getting by yourself, quieting everything down, and just, whether it's breathing or meditating or whatever your thing is, canceling everything out, turning your phone off. If you want to journal. If not, just being alone, because you have everything within you.
We do. We so do.
Okay, well, the third and final question is, what do you wish you would have known 5 years ago?
Oh man, I'm trying to think of where I was 5 years ago.
So much growth since then.
So much growth since then. Oh my gosh, I've done, I think, so much growth in the past 2 years. So
self-work.
5 years ago, I think I wish that I knew to take care of myself spiritually. And you can do so many things physically, like eating well, exercising, but at the end of the day, if you don't know your source, for me, it made all the difference. Like I went from being completely depressed, eating lots of fruits and vegetables, working out every day, like doing all the stuff that you're supposed to do physically to be healthy, but I wasn't doing my spiritual self-care, mental self-care, like really believing in my source, believing in me. And once I made the switch, it was like everything got easier.
Yeah.
Everything.
And you guys, for source, you can plug in whether for you it's God, Jesus, the universe. What is your source? Believing in yourself and experiencing, doing that, we talked about yesterday, experiencing freedom.
Yeah.
From that, just allowing everything to be what it's going to be and being okay with it.
Yeah.
So, Jessica, tell people where they can find you.
You can find me on Instagram at magic_Jess_Bell. I'm also on IMDb if you want to check out my IMDb page.
Same name?
Jessica Ruth Bell is on IMDb.
Okay, and magic spelled just the regular way?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Nice talking to you today. We'll see you next time for another episode of 3 Questions with Kat. Bye.
Bye.
To overcome your obstacles standing in the way of your success and have the tips you need to reach your dreams.